So right here we have 4 feet in the channel here where we talked about where that lip is gonna sit. Pretty accurate because this is literally the most important step of the project. The newer things that I like that Ebbe did was they replaced the other bolts that they had.
How many roads must a man walk down before you
Just finished installing the pre-slope yesterday, so now we're back. I want to show you guys something real quick. So right here we have 4 feet. It is mandatory, it is code that when you do a slope, a quarter per foot, right? Meaning that that's what the slope is, a quarter per foot. And so if we have 4 feet here, the slope has to be an inch. Come take a look. That is exactly what we have here. We have an inch of slope. I don't know if you guys can see that right there. It might be hard to tell through the camera, but we have an inch there of slope. One of the things that I like about this Ebbe 3-piece drain is that, you know, it's very well designed. This little lip all around the bottom of this plastic part here goes into these grooves here, so it locks it into place once you put the silicone under. Another thing that I really like about this design, about Ebbe drain, that Ebbe drain does good, is that it has all these channels here for the water to also be able to run into the drain, and it even has them in the back, which I've seen a lot of other drains, and sometimes they only have 4 channels, sometimes they don't even have channels at all. Now our pan liner is going to be going on top of this, and that's what we're going to be showing you right now, how to install the pan liner so that the drain is properly installed, so that way the water can also drain through the weep holes. So now that we finish setting the pan liner on top of the pre-slope, it's, as you can see, our pan liner goes up to the wall. Minimum you have to have 6 inches on top from the floor. In this instance we put 8 inches just because, you know, we had enough. If you can remember from the last video, they didn't even bother to leave it past 2 inches. I think their pan liner, they cut it up to 2 inches, and they cut it up to 2 inches from the curb, which again, another reason why it failed was because that water was starting to crawl up and go over the pan liner. Now to install the drain flange here, we want to make sure that we find the hole, that way we can have a more accurate cut. And remember that lip that I talked about, that this little lip goes into that channel here. As you can see it right here, you can feel it a little bit. I don't know if the camera can pick it up, but that's where basically this is going to sit on top of, like this. So you want to make sure that you're cutting this pretty accurate because this is literally the most important step of the project. And if you mess up on this one, you know, you're wasting like $130 worth of pan liner, and that's not fun. All right, now you want to put it in the channel here where we talked about where that lip is gonna sit. Don't go overboard, but I mean, be generous with what you put in here. But again, you don't want to put too much because then it can create a little bump, and we don't want that. You want to make sure that you kind of set it in place. Mark those holes, so these are where the bolts are going to go, so it makes it a little bit easier. If I could see. One of the newer things that I like that Ebbe did was they replaced the other bolts that they had that you would have to do with a wrench. with screws that you could use your drill with, so you no longer have to pre-hole. Because before you would have to cut a little hole where the bolts would have to be, so that way you could, you know, put your bolts through there. But our drill, they're just able to make it makes the hole easier, and it's less hassle. The difference between, you know, how they had it before, there was a huge lip here, as to now it's flush. There's nothing preventing it. And now this is why that pre-slope, again, I have to say it's so important, because once that water drains in here, right, now it has a grain down to the level. And look at what happens here. You see these channels? This is where the water starts draining in from all sides, so that the water now has two ways to drain out, which one would be on top of the drain, and the second way is through these weep holes here.